Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Weekly Inspiration. Portion of the week is Behar, Bechukosai, a very powerful parashah. And we're going to address one subject, and the subject of Shemitah. And as I'm sure you all know that Shemitah, the mitzvah of Shemitah, is in Eretz Israel. It's not so much in outside, not so much, not at all in the outside of Eretz Israel. And we need to fully understand this whole idea of Shemitah. The basic, those of you who don't have time to listen to the whole lecture, Shemitah is every 7 years. Every 7 years, basically the land take a break. You don't work the land in Eretz Israel, in Israel. 6 years you can work the land. 7 years, in the 7th years, you take a break. You cannot basically work the land. And again, in the 8 years, you work the land again. And of course, this is going on for 7 times 7, similar to the Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. And then in the 50 years, that's called the Jubilee, the Yovel, which is reaching the level of Bina. And at that time, all slave go home, everything go back to Shosho, to his roots. Everything is going back to wherever it's come from, which is the level of Bina. Because 7 times 7, we are fixing something. What are we fixing, basically? We are fixing, the whole idea of something called Malchut. Now, what is that idea that called Malchut? We need fully to understand that. Malchut is our desire. Within everything in this universe, there is a desire. There is desire. Now, those of you who are new to this wisdom, what is a desire? A desire is a force that receives all the nourishment that the Creator wants to fulfill, to give to this universe. So the original desire that created by God, by the Creator, it's a beautiful thing. That through that, there is a tool that the Creator can share everything that the Creator wanted to share. And by doing that, there is a fulfillment. But because there is a lot of procedure that happens since creation, those of you who follow a little bit deeper meaning of Kabbalah called tzimtzumim, for that reason, those desires need to be corrected. Every time we want something, we have to correct that desire. The same is for the land. The land, you work the land, you plant the seed, you harvest for 6 years only. But the 7th, no. The 7th, you cannot work the land because the 7th represents the desire of the land and the desire of the human being, how it's correlated to the desire of the land. Land, human, Adam Etz HaSadeh, as it's written that the human is like a tree. So we need to learn more about it. We're going to get deep into it. But on a superficial level, maybe on a simple level, if you want to grow to the next level, there is timing to do that. There is the right time when things are elevated by themselves, like Shabbat. Shabbat is also the 7th day of the week. 6 days you work on yourself, and the 7th day you enjoy what you work on yourself. So you need to fully understand that the whole idea of our work in this beautiful universe is working on our desire. And we need to work on how we want, why we want, and how to receive what we want without hurting our body or our soul or our environment. Because if we are not capable to elevate above our desire, then unfortunately, whatever we receive doesn't bring a blessing. For that reason, it's almost like you riding on a hot air balloon. It's a beautiful experience. But can you experience the land while you're riding on a hot air balloon? No. You're either on the land, you're either on a hot air balloon. So the Shemitah, the 70 years that we take in break in Israel from the land, or the Jubilee, when you kind of bought a slave, you gotta let the slave go, or people owe you money, you gotta let it go, doing the Jubilee according to the Torah. So all of those things that we are talking about is the let go, but it seems like you're losing something by let go, because in the 70th year, if you don't work the land, so what's going to happen after? Are you going to have money if you're a farmer? So the point, it's a secret. It's a very similar secret that you elevate yourself to another dimension, that in that dimension, the fulfillment and the goodness of the Creator revealed itself, but it's only for people who let go of the land, who let go of the Malchut. So it's not just a hot air balloon, it's a similar story of Nadav and Avihu. They want to sacrifice fire, but it was a fire at that moment that came from heaven. They meant well, but meaning to have a good intention, it's a wonderful thing. But the good intention has to be with the attention of above. It cannot be because you meant well, now it has to be well. Uzzah, holding the Sefer Torah before it's about to fall. Aaron Hashem, the Ark of Hashem together with the Luchot inside was going to a war. And Uzzah was afraid, Kishamto Abakar, that because of the way that the wagon is going, the Torah seemed about to fall. So you want to save the Torah. What a wonderful doing. No. Even it's a noble doing, Hashem punishing him. Why? Because the Torah was flowing above the ground by itself. It didn't need the help of human. And if you help, it shows as if the process of the Creator does not exist. If you work the land in 7 years, it's shows as if the land will not elevate you to the next dimension. So for that reason, people who get stuck to work the land in the 7 years are not benefit from it, because they're missing the level which is above the ground. It's the same thing with the hot air balloon. If you're climbing, then climb. Don't miss what happened there, because life is a cycle. Shabbat, same thing. If you decide to already do the Shabbat, keep the Shabbat in the fraction way, then you need to know in Shabbat you're receiving energy that cannot be received in any other time. For that reason, you gotta let go of the work. You let go of the birurin, what we call sifting. You gotta let go of that. Now, if you don't let go, you get stuck in Malchut. You get stuck with your own little desire. So desire is a very important thing. Without desire, you don't have a personality. But if your desire is controlling you, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have pleasure, you can see beyond your pleasure. You can see beyond of what you want. You're so busy with what you want that you missed the whole opportunity of riding that spiritual hot air balloon. And what do you do with the hot air balloon? What do you do in the old days? You release some sack of sand, weight, you forgive people. You let go of the land, you let go of everything, and then it's climb higher and higher. Now the question that you should ask yourself, do you want to climb, or do you want to make the land better? What is your mission in life? What is your mission in life? You got to ask yourself that question in this weekend. Because this weekend we have Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai who can help us tremendously. Tonight, Yud Iyar, what could be more powerful than that? Powerful. Just months ago it was Yud Nisan, the Ilula of Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Bronfeld. Yud Iyar now. Chai, Iyar, Chai, or Chai. What is Iyar? If you count how many days happening from Chai Iyar till Shavuot. 12 days, 17 days. Amazing. What is it telling us? What is it trying to tell us? To tell us what do you want to connect to. You want to be right, but whatever exists in your life in this moment, if you're fixing it, you're going to be a fixer for the rest of your life. There is time to fix. There is time to elevate. Shavuot, time of elevation. Shabbat, time of elevation. Shemitah, every 7 years in Eretz Israel, time of elevation. There is time of elevation. When the time of elevation, it's not the time of fixing. You have to know to define between the two. And if you don't, then you're stuck in the fixing. Some people try to fix their relationship as if they're going to fix it. Not all relationship can be fixed, guys. That's why there is in Hebrew, in a Jewish religion, divorce. Why is divorce such a big mitzvah? It's a mitzvah. It's give you a second chance or third chance. Go ahead and look for whatever you think can make you happy, but not from a point what you're going to get from a selfish point of view, from the point of elevation. If you feel you're elevated to the Torah and spirituality, and your teacher tell you you are really elevate yourself, then Baruch Hashem, you're ready. But if it's just about me and myself, then keep fixing it, because that's what you need to do. But if you're ready to elevate, ride on that hot air balloon, like tonight with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, like the Shabbatot to come after that, like Shavuot, of course you elevate, but you gotta forget about the land. Like Shabbat, one Shabbat enter, you don't touch electronic, you don't touch your phone, you don't cut some paper. That's it, you're done. Why you done? What's the reason that you're already done? Because during the week, as the Ari HaKadosh explained to us in Shara Mitzvot, during the week, you're doing the fixing. 6 days of the week, those of you familiar with Kabbalah, 6 days corresponding to the 6 Sefirot of Zeir Anpin. That's when you do the working. But Shabbat, elevate. Shabbat, elevate, like you're going into an elevator, and wherever you've been, that place that you've been, you are elevate. That's why you say, Lo techalelu et Yom HaShabbat. Don't make the Yom HaShabbat like Yemei HaChol, like the regular day. What do you do in the regular day? You do the fixing. What do you do in the Shabbat? You do elevation. What do you do in the 7th years in Eretz Israel? There is elevation. Don't touch the land. The land represents the whole idea of your desire. Let go of that for 1 year. You will meet the real level that you need to be, because then you're part of the cycle. But some people who are cheap or think about what's going to happen, unfortunately get stuck in that level of the land forever. And that's what we call a slave. But even those people after 50 years can be released. Yovel. So the one who missed the whole thing, in 50 years after that, they can be released if they choose to. So who is the slave? Somebody doesn't want to change. That's the definition of slave. What is free person? Person who understands that there is opportunity, that Hashem wants to free the person, him, you, her, all of you. Freedom. What do you think when Bnei Israel get out of Egypt? They were free slaves, but in their mind they weren't. How do we know that? Because the people who joined them, the mixed multitude, keep convincing them, Zacharnu et hadaga asher achalnu chinam. We remember the fish, the zucchini, onion, we ate for free in Egypt. Look what they're dealing with. You're a slave, but you eat zucchini. You're a slave, but you eat fish. It's like a slave mentality versus freedom mentality. It's almost like somebody's going to the worst hotel ever, and the best food is being served. So the person say, you know what, I'm suffering, but at least I have food for free. It doesn't work like this. To find opportunity in your life, you have to let go of your immediate need. If it's food, if it's sex, if it's comfort zone, if it's being right for your ego, or you're allowed to get angry, nobody will tell you anything. That's all low level. And that's called slavery. To climb to the next level, you must let go of what's familiar to you. So before I'm going to read today a little bit Zohar, a little bit Arizal, a little bit Ismach Israel. So before that, we do bracha over the tea. Bəḥuqothai l'olam she'akol nהיה b'doro. So I'm going to start from Zohar, Behar. In the Sulam is verse Nun Bet. Verse Nun Bet. I think I read it to you a few times, but it's always good to hear it again and again and again. רבי יהודה פתח בהשם ועשה טוב, שכן ארץ וראה אמונה. לעולם יהיה אדם זהיר באדונו וידבק ליבו בעינו העליונה. The Zohar is teaching us a lesson here. What is the most important thing a person should do with God? Emunah, belief, or certainty, or faith. Why we need to believe? כדי שיהיה שלם עם אדונו. So he will be complete with his master. כי כשיהיה שלם עם אדונו לא יוכלו להרע לו כלום לעולם. When he's complete with his master, the great news about it, the benefit from it, no human can hurt that person. It seemed like contradicted to what Pirkei Avot said. Pirkei Avot said, don't serve your rabbi or your master for the benefit of something. Here it says, if you do that, if you have emunah, then no human can hurt you. Let's understand it. בואו ראה, כוון ביור, נון גיבל. פתח בהשם ועשה טוב. Trust Hashem and do good. What is do good? אלא כך למדנו, בתורות של המנהלי, תורת מעשה העליונה. We need to remember, as Rav Ashlag is teaching us many times, from awakening from below, we awakening things above. Everything is corresponding to our action. And everything from above, awakening things from below. וכבר העמידו ועשיתם אותם כבכל אתם תעשו אותם, משום שבתורות שלכם כבר מתעורר למעלה. כן, ועשה טוב, טוב אין טוב, אלא צדיק, שהוא יסוד איזה רבי שכתוב, אמרו צדיק כי טוב, כיוון שאתם עושים זה, ודאי טוב, אז זה יתעורר למעלה, השכן ארץ וראה אמונה, והכל אחד שארץ ובונה, שתיהם הם מלכות. So when you do good things from below, you're awakening things above. And when it say, you should dwell on land of emunah, of faith, it's the faith itself, according to the Zohar here, it's malchut, it's our malchut, it's desire. Let's understand, מפרש דבריו. שכן ארץ זוהי ארץ עליונה, שהיא מלכות, כי אין לך בעולם מי שיכול לשכון עמה, עד שיתעורר אותו הטוב, שהוא יסוד איזה רפיל עליה. How do you connect to malchut? How do you connect to a desire? We learn that every time you are kind of processing your soul into connect to your desire, there is danger in it. Why there is danger? Because after the tzimtzum, after the aspect that we decide not to receive because we are suffering from something called birth of shame, and for that reason we no longer want to receive until we earn it. That's what the soul say to the creator before creation. The malchut, every time we activate it, the desire, it's danger. So we have to attach to it the sphira above. It's called yesod of zer anpin, more mercy. כי המלכות בלי יסוד היא מלאה דינים. Because malchut alone by itself, the desire without mercy, is full of judgment. כיוון שעורר אותה האדם על ידי מעשיו הטובים, כבכל הוא עשה אותו. ואז שכן ארץ, שכן בתוכה, מלכות זה כל פריה. So how do you connect to the desire? You have to basically create the desire in a holy way. והשתעשע עמה וראה אמונה זוהי ארץ, דהיינו מלכות אמונה וארץ לכל אחד שהיא מלכות, ומותך בלילות לילה עם מלכות. וראה אמונה שפרושה, אהיה מנהיג אותה בכל שעה שאתה רוצה. Tell us the Zohar, you need to lead the malchut. You need to lead your desire. Your desire cannot be the one that leading you. Because if you're desperate to want something, you're no longer in control of the malchut. ואם לא תעורר כנגדה את היסוד, if you're not going to bring יסוד, יסוד means זר אנפין, זר אנפין means חסדים, aspect of sharing, aspect for the sake of giving, not for the sake of myself, טוב, אז זה שהוא יסוד, מתרחק ממנו, אל תקרב לכבשן האש השורף. It's almost like going to a oven that has fire on. כי בלי יסוד היא מלאה דינים, כבשן האש, ואם תקרב אליה תהיה בהירה, כמי שמפחד ממנו עובד, כי אז היא אש דולק, שורפת העולם מלהבותיה. כיוון שבוער כנגד הטוב הזה, השכן בתוכה, ואתה לא תירא ממנה ואז תגזר, אמר יקום על דרכך. So he's telling us here something very important. Very important. If you connect to your desire or to the land desire on your own, and you're not adding any mercy means for the sake of sharing, or maim nukvim, for the sake, what is coming out of me for the sake of others, then unfortunately it's going to get stuck. It's going to burn you. Continue Nun Vav. Bore, Bnei Emunah manigim etzu, את המלכות. You want to know who is the one who leading the desire? Bnei Emunah, the people of the faith, of the Emunah, the people of the belief, the people of certainty. They are the one who controlling the desire. לרצונם בכל יום, שהיא מקיימת מה שהם גוזרים. Because when you have Emunah, then the Malchut will do exactly of what you need and want. מי בני Emunah? How do you become part of that group of the children of Emunah, the children of faith, the children of belief? הם אלה שמורים טוב, the one who wake up good, which is יסוד. How they do that? על ידי שנותנים צדקה. By them giving charity. Sounds like too easy. You just write a check and Malchut leave you alone. Give a tzedakah, Malchut leave you alone. Give gold, buy a shirt to your teacher. Hopefully he's wearing it when he's teaching, then you have zchut. Or buying a sandwich to your teacher and then he eat it on Shabbat, then you have zchut. Things like this that be used. Or buying a cup of wine, which is using for mitzvah. That's very, very big deal. Or I don't know. Things that using for mitzvot ma'asiyot and mitzvot of action. That's tzedakah too. Why? Why people who give tzedakah, the Zohar mentioned here, is the only one who can control Malchut. Lama. And what about a poor man in the street? Is that the reason he's a slave and he can never control anything? Well, a poor man has to give $1 if he has 10. אינם מכסים על שלהם ויודעים שהקדוש ברוך הוא ייתן להם יותר. People who give know they're going to have more tomorrow. כמו שנאמר, יש מפזר ונוסף עוד. מה אותם בשביל שהיסוד מעורר ברכות כנגדו? What is the יסוד? יסוד is יוסף הצדיק. יסוד is a foundation. So when a person gives tzedakah, he doesn't care about that he doesn't have enough. Let's say he has now 30 million. And he gives from the 30 million, 17 million. How much he has now? 13. So he should be worried. He should be worried. I had 30. Now I have 13. I have minus 17. That's a normal chishuv calculation. He'd say, ואל יאמר אם אתן את זה אתה מעשה למחר. אלא הקדוש ברוך הוא נותן לו ברכות בלי די כמו שהם ידעו. The people who really give, they don't worry what's going to have tomorrow. Because Kadosh Baruch Hu himself making sure that they will have money. And now we're going back to the question of the Shemitah. You might say, if I'm doing Shemitah, if I'm doing the 70 years of I'm taking a break from the land, I'm going to eat. I will give you a blessing in the 6th year. So of course that blessing, there's a question on that. Does that mean that the 6 years you're going to have more barley and wheat and spelt? Or the quality of the barley, wheat, and spelt will be so good that it keep you satiated for 3 days. One sandwich, good for 3 days. So then it's good. So is it the quality or the quantity? Well, it depends on your level of emunah. So the emunah. If your emunah is not so strong, Hashem will give you a lot of quantity. But if your emunah is strong, Hashem will give you quality. That's how we see that most rich people don't have a good time because they're collecting quantity. They never collect quality. They say they do. They collect art, home, but they don't enjoy home. You ever went to the biggest home you ever been? There's no happiness there. Why there's no happiness there? Because people buying the external, but they didn't work on the internal yet. So the internal didn't catch up with what they bought externally. Hashem give them a blessing to have money this lifetime, and then they bought all the external with that money, which is a blessing. But you have to catch up with the internal, like catch up. That's a lot of time. I hear people tell me, I moved from 2-bedroom into 5-bedroom, and my wife and me are no connection. Well, the premium is not there yet. If you build a big house and you make sure Torah there once a week, study Torah, bring the rabbi to teach there, and people are coming, then that house will be a blessing. But if you just bought a big house and there is no Torah there, not by you, because you can be ego. Your rabbi come, you invite them, say, come teach in my house. I bring some people, I do some mezonot with brachot. Then there is a chance that that house pnimiyut will go up. Otherwise, it's just chitzoni. And then nothing gonna happen. You're gonna live in a nice house, but it's not gonna be benefit. So for me, we learn what is really the tzedakah. So I don't want to go further with the Zohar, but I want to go into explaining again, like I promised, I'm going to explain the Shemitah from different angle. I'm jumping now into Ishmach Israel. Even the order I really want to go is actually the Ari. So you know what? I'm going to go to the Ari. That's the way I feel more comfortable. So what is the idea of Shemitah according to the Ari? Maze Shemitah. What is the whole idea of forbidden to do some work of the land, forbidden to do some work on Shabbat, on Yom Tov? Maze. So simple. כדי להבין כל זה, I'm reading from טעמי המצוות, פרשת בהר, עמוד קצ"ט. כדי להבין כל זה, נבהר עניין איסור מלאכות. Why we forbidden to do a certain work? There is a concept called Zayin Melachim Demitu Be'eretz Edom. You maybe didn't see it, but in the Bible, in the Torah, they talk about the 7 kings of the land of Edom that died. Well, the Torah is written in many levels. So if you read it in the Pshat, it's about the 7 kings that died. But if you read it in the Sod, those 7 kings represent the original desire that was there, that was not supposed to be activated after Tzimtzum, but it was activated because it was too much desire. And then for that reason, those vessels broke and fell down to where we are. And our job as people is to elevate those pieces and fix it. And let's say in Lashon Arizal, how the Ari say it. It's our mission. So to fix all those pieces. How do we do it? Through the pray, to the mitzvot, to the good action, like tzedakah will be good action. לאותם הזין מלכים, to those 7 kings, מבחינת מים נוקבים, אל המלכות. ואז הם מתחדשים חיים, and through that we give them life. It's almost like we're building a puzzles. All those thousands of years, we're building pieces of the puzzles. You may not know how much you're fixing. Even if you think you don't fix a lot, you fix a lot. How long is that going to take? Until the Messiah will come. When the Messiah will come, he's fixing the last piece. כדי שיוכלו להתברר כל אלו הזין מלכים יתוקנו לבד. ויצרפו ויתלבנו כל הטוב והקדושה שבהם זה הקליפה. What is those pieces? Where are they? They're captured by the dark side called the klipa. The klipa doesn't have a real value, but it's have a value while it's capturing it. What's the value of banana peel? Not a value. If you get the banana without the peel, melt, the animal will eat it. So the peel is actually oger. It's contain the banana with it, and that's how it's protecting it. So until we not fixing those pieces of light that fell to the land, fell to our universe, those people are still captured by the klipa, by the peel. Klipa means peel, to peel something, the kalef. So what happened when everything elevated? What happened with those klipot? It becomes sigim. Sigim meaning like a leftover of when you melt silver or gold. And then we're going to live forever. This is only to our pray and action and mitzvot that we're doing. Same thing you have during the week. During the week, 6 days of the week. What do you do 6 days of the week? You are sifting all the pieces of the week by going to work. Let's say those of you working, and I hope you do, working is part of the Torah. It's a mitzvah. So when you go to work, you mevarer. You are sifting those pieces that you are doing. You know, every person in the work. A farmer do mitzvot to working. A businessman paying salary to the people who work for them. So you have the mitzvah from the Torah. Beyomot iten scharo. You have to pay him every week. Okay? Or whatever deal that you made with them. So every time melacha, one of the דברים צריכים תיקונים על ידי מעשה. You have to fix things by action. And what if God will create the world to be perfection, that from the land the bread will come out of a rose bush? Can you imagine, instead of rose bush, you have a loaf of bread fresh and you just take it? It doesn't work this way. צריכים לחרוש ולזרוע. We need to work the land, we need to plant the seed, וכולי. And then we have to sifting, then we go to the fire and we baking. A lot of work involved with all of it, say the Arizal. And because we have 7 kings, that what we call 7 pieces of those vessels that fell down, and the klipot are capturing them, we need to remove by tefillah, by mitzvot and maasim tovim, all of those things and elevators. Okay? And he continue. So for that reason, every time you go to study, you go to work, it's a mitzvah. And if you meditate that that's fixing things from below to above. Of course, there is a big difference between fixing by planting the seed and working the land than fixing by eating. Because when you're eating, it's going into your blood, and then you're fixing it. For that reason, when you say melacha, work, is gimatria kel Adonai. I hope my team will put it for you so you can see it. Gimatria kel Adonai, which we know kel is mercy, and Adonai usually is judgment, because you melacha, you work hard. You talk to your people, or you have conversation, all of it is part of your melacha. You meditate, kel and Adonai, which is olam asiyah, which you fix in the world of action. But when you eat, it's a little bit more elevated. You fix in the work of formation. And that's why ochel, or ochel, is gimatria what? Kel avaya. Kel mercy, avaya is also mercy, or center column. And he said, we're not going to go into it that much. I'm skipping because it's a long section that might take me a few hours, but I want to make sure that I'm making sure that I'm explaining to you everything about Shmita. So we explained how Shmita is related to Shabbat, because Shmita is the 7 days and Shabbat comes with Sheva, 7 days of the week. So the whole idea of elevation of Shabbat, 6 days you work the land, you work whatever job you have, in the 7 days, that's a mini level of Shemitah. In the Shemitah is 6 years you work the land. What's the idea of 6? We know in Zer Anpin we have Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzachot, Yesod, 6. Those are the 6 things that you work. That's why it say whoever, Mishalot Tarach Be'ever Shabbat, whoever didn't work hard doing the 6th day of the week cannot really enjoy Shabbat. If you didn't attach every action of what you did during the week of the day, when Shabbat is coming, which is the manifestation of everything, you cannot get the whole thing. Whoever, the same thing with Shemitah. What did you do in the 6 years? 6 years you're elevating, you're sifting all those melachim. But Hashem said to you, on the 7th years, I'm going to do it for you. You don't have to do it. I'm to do all the sifting. So for me, we learn the purpose of work and having a business and all this and that is basically the interaction. The money that you get is not the main reason of working. The main reason is spiritual. And that's why you see some people who make a lot of money and still miserable, because they don't understand the main reason of why they work. I hope they will listen to this lecture. If they understand it or need question, I'm here. Anyway, Baruch Hashem. So, I'm skipping again. So, everything that you work the land, Charisha, Zri'ah, when you work the land, Walat Maim Nukvim, is when you elevate spark of light that fell to the ground back to the Creator. Okay, that's the whole inyan. שכל המלאכות הוא לעלות הזין מלאכים, למתקם. בסוד הזריעה ועבודה, בסוד האדם אין לעבודה אדמה. So what is the idea that God didn't create bread and rogalach coming out of the trees? Because through the human being, we become a conduit of the creation. God is the creator. We are the nivra, we're the emanated, and using us to create a new world, which is the greatest gift. That's what Hashem is giving us. So by us planting the seed, when you plant the seed, those of you who work as a farmer before, you don't see what's going to happen. You have hope. It's almost like pregnancy. The seed is going to the betana adama, the stomach of the land, which called the land itself. Then you cover it with dirt, those of you who plant seed before. So the zriya is like pregnancy. The katsir, when you harvest everything, is kmo leda, say the Arizal. שהם נשמות, והם נקצרות משם, not בעולם הזה, לגופים השפלים. So those נשמות is like coming to that body, that body. And we need to do what we need to do during that 7th year, so we make sure that in the 7th year we're able to elevate ourselves and everything around us to the right level. That's the idea of Shemitah according to the Arizal. But the uniqueness about what the Arizal said, that when you go to work, you're in the middle of mitzvah, but some people don't even know that working place is your mitzvah. You know, going home is a mitzvah, eating is a mitzvah. It's all day long you're doing mitzvah. But you have to attach it that I'm elevating another piece of the melachim of Edom that fell into the dark side. That's Zohar, that's Ari. Now I'm going to give an aspect of Chassidut from Ismach Israel on the same pasuk again. That's what I love about it, you know, because everybody brings the Torah from Gan Eden. If you think those tzaddikim brought the Torah from Olam Hazeh, you're wrong. They didn't. Because Olam Hazeh is like we work in the land in the 7 year Chas Shalom. It's like we don't keep Shabbat. The tzaddikim, because they release, מה זה צדיק? צדיק יסוד עולם כתוב. Is יסוד. There's no malchut. So if he's yesod, where is he? He's always there. And what he does, he brings like water, mine duchrin, to the land. So new thing will grow up. I hope you understand. Anyway, Ismach Israel bring exactly the Zohar and the Ari together. And I found it fascinating. You know, sometimes when I prepare lectures, there is options of books are endless. I was benefit from wonderful friends of mine and student by Michael, who always make sure that I have all the books that I need, which is nothing can be more important for a teacher to have books, as many books as possible. So when I'm looking around for books, you know, before I back lecture, you know, the books has to kind of talk to me. Not I'm talking to them, who am I? And when Ismach Israel said me, Ari said me, Zohar said me, put it together, you wouldn't believe how powerful it is. So people think I prepared the lecture for my wisdom. I'm not as wise as you think I am. But I hope to call myself a believer, and by believing, the book talk to me and tell me, we want you to teach from here. So it say like this. כאשר נותן אדם את ליבו, באמת במעמקי ליבו. This is based on what Ismach Israel was inspired by the Baal Shem Tov. באחד משלוש אלה הזמנים, כאשר יגיע ל-60 שנה, when a person becomes 60 years old, שהוא מרומז לשנה השישית. Ismach Israel wants us to know that there is a cycle. There is a cycle of 6 and 7, and it's appear everywhere. It's appear in the weeks, which is 6 days in Shabbat. It's appear in the years, which is 6 days you work the land, and 7 you take a break. And it's also with your age. With your age until 60, you're fixing Ze'er Anpin. After 60, you start fixing the Malchut. הגיע ל-60 שנה שהוא מורבד לשנה השישית, או כאשר הגיע יום השישי לאחר חצות היום, שמתצאת אור קדושת השבת, או שנעשה דבר באריזל, או שיגיע במאה הספירה לשבוע השישית, או מורבד ליסוד. So, or if you're counting the Omer and you are now in the 6th week, which is Yesod, okay? וישים את ליבו לשאול מה נאכל בשנה השביעית. And now you wonder what I'm going to eat in the 7th year, like it's written in this week parashah. או בשבת קודש. איך נרגיש קדושת השבת נוער ערבות ותיקון. How can I feel the joy of Shabbat? לאשר לא הכינו את עצמו בחרישה וזרע, ואיך נקצור? If I didn't plant the seed, and I didn't take care of the land, how I'm going to harvest? או בשנת ה-60, מה נעשה ליום הדין? Or when you become 60 years old, at this point, you have to worry about the day of judgment, when a person dies. ליום התוכחה, אשר לא זרענו ולא עשינו כלום, מצוות ומעשים טובים בעולם הזה. If a person didn't do no מצוות, no מעשים טובים, no good doing, no good תפילות, בעולם הזה, how are you gonna go up to heaven like this? או בבואנו לשבוע השישית, הוא עומד ליסוד, נותן לליבו להרגיע, איך ניגש לקבל עליו בשבוע הבא עלינו, עול מלכות, ואחר כך עול תורה, באשר לא הכין ליבו בכל ימי הספירה שעברו. Or when you're getting to the 6th week, and you look at yourself, how did you do in ספירת העומר? Not so great, what are you going to do? אבל כן מרומז התשובה והבטחה מהבורא ברוך הוא. המקבל שווים שאם יאמר כן, באמת מעוקי הלב. You need to know that God give us the biggest gift after Shabbat is tshuva. If a person really sorry that he missed the opportunity of doing what he meant to be doing, but be for real, not because he makes some face and everybody, you know, wow, what a tzaddik. You know if you're for real. ואז ציוויתי את ברכתי בשנה השישית. Look how beautiful ישמח ישראל take it. That's what חסידות or Kabbalah is all about. כי תאמרו מה נאכל בשנה השביעית, ישמח ישראל take it to another level. He say, let's say if you didn't work on yourself for 60 years, if you didn't work on yourself in all the 5 weeks of Sfirat HaOmer, and now come the 6th week, if you didn't work on yourself in the first 6 years of the land, and now the 7th year is coming, מה נאכל בשנה השביעית? I didn't do enough spirituality. השם answer, וציוויתי את ברכתי בשנה השישית. I will make sure I give you the bracha in the 6th year, or in the 6th week, or in the 6th day. היינו שהקדוש ברוך הוא מבטיח להיות לעזר או לסעד שנזכה לתשובה שלמה. What does that mean? Hashem will help you. It's not talk about the land. It doesn't talk about the food. It's talking about our spiritual journey. In our spiritual journey, a lot of time we fall. We get stuck. It's not working. I'm trying to do tshuva, and then I'm falling again, and then I'm not trying to do tshuva, and then I'm ashamed, and then I'm doing tshuva again, and this cycle keep going. מה לעשות? מה נאכל בשנה השביעית? How am I going to eat in the 7th year if I didn't do nothing? Hashem promise you, if you are sorry and you start now, don't be busy what happened. Now, today, you start. ועשה את התבואה לשלוש השנים, ועשה מלשון תיקון. ועשתה את ציפורניה ולא עשה שפמו, שאנוכי, אצלו את ברכתי להגדיל דרכתך, תתחזק את עצמך מתשובה שלמה, תשובה מהאהבה. Hashem said, if you're really sorry for what you did wrong, if you're really struggling, and you are really worried, I'm going to do tshuva shlema. I want to do tshuva shlema, Hashem. I'm not that strong. I keep falling. I fall 19 times, and I woke up 25 times. Great. Hashem will make sure you're going to be tshuva shlema. You do tshuva me'ahava. עד שתזכה שמזדונות יעשה זכויות. All the worst thing you did will become זכויות. Like it's in יומא, פ"ו עמוד א', מסכת יומא in Talmud, פ"ו עמוד א', and also it's written in הקדמה לזוהר, לילה דקאלה, או מישהו בא לזקנה ל70 שנה, יהיה לו תיקון על 3 זמנים. שחיי אדם נקרא בסוד הכתוב, עמידה, עלייה, ירידה. And whoever get closer to the age 60, need to know, when you start doing tshuva there, you can fix the עמידה, עלייה, ירידה. It's 3 chapters of your 60 years. ומי שנפשו בערה לו להכנת השם, שבת תוקנת 3 ימים בחרישה, כנ"ל, מי שדואג על ידי הספירה יזכה לקבל עול מלכות שמיים בשבוע הבא עלינו. ואחר כך יזכה לקבל מינון, שערי בינה, בליל להתקדש חג השבועות. Whoever is worried that he didn't do good ספירת העומר, or he didn't do 6th day of the week, or he didn't do something, start now. Start now. Start now in the Hilula of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Start. Start to do tshuva now. Start. And then it promises you in the Shavuot, הבא עלינו לטובה. אחר כך יזכה לטעום טעם הערבות, נעימות ותיקון בתורה הקדושה, אורייתא. זהו 3 הזמנים. And this is the 3 time. What is the Ismar Israel is revealed to us? He gives us the hope of tshuva. He gives us the power of tshuva to understand who we are and what we can do. There is no such a thing about, it doesn't mention that you leave the 6, here you work the land, the 7. He talk about working on yourself. You have a chance to work on yourself, do it. Now you're not always going to get to perfection, but so what? You did. You try. You make an effort. You fell, and you go ahead again, and you start all over again. Rabbi Nachman ben Breslev said, if you believe you destroyed, you should believe you should fix it. None things Rabbi Nachman ben Breslev said. A lot of time the Yetzer, the evil inclination, convince us that because we did something so bad, there is no chance we can fix things. That's not your business. לא עליך המלאכה לגמור, ולא אתה בן חורים להיפטר ממנה. פרקי אבות said, not up to you to finish the job, but you're also not free not to do it at all.